hey, here's a big list of numbers. It represents how many donuts different people ate last year. We're going to take that list of numbers and we're going to turn it into a 5-number summary and a box plot. So in this list of data, we asked about, I don't know, looks like about 20 people. Hey, how many donuts did you eat last year? So little Johnny ate 9 donuts last year, but Tina ate 20 donuts last year. Now, probably this data was not in order like it is now when we first got it, so you would have to arrange your data in order to do some of the things that we're going to do here. Now, if we put this data in Desmos, it could help us find the mean and the median, but if we didn't have that, remember the mean, which is the average, you've been doing this ever since middle school or elementary school, means you would just add all of these up and divide by how many there are. So in this case, I took the time to add all these up. There was 322 in total, divided by 18, I have my mean. The median is a different story. And to compute the median, you do need your data in order. And the median is the middlemost number. So what you would have to do if you were going to compute the median by hand is cross off the top and the bottom, cross off the top and the bottom, and you would keep doing that until you have arrived at the middlemost number. So in this case, as I keep crossing them off, the middlemost number would end up falling right between the 14 and the 18, and that's why my median is 16. So just remember that the mean is the average, just like you've been doing ever since you were just a little sht. The median is always the middle number. And in this case, there was no middle number. 14 and 18 were in the middle, so we took the number that was in the middle between those two. Of course, Uncle Desmos will compute both of those for you if you know how to use it. So what we just did was review, but I will bet you this thing called the 5-number summary is new to most of you. And the 5-number summary is going to take that list of data and find 5 characteristics: the minimum, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum. The minimum and the maximum are obvious. It's the smallest number and the largest number in the group. The median is the middlemost number. The first quartile represents the number that is in marking the bottom 25% of the group. And the third quartile marks the top 75% of the group. Those are kind of new to you. The first quartile, if I was just eyeballing it, would end up somewhere about there, where about 25% of the data is above it. The third quartile, if I'm just eyeballing it, would probably be somewhere around there, where there's 25% of the data above it, 75% of the data over there. But that type of thing might be a little confusing right now, so we're going to get a picture. So here is the readout of the 5-number summary from Desmos. Now we can get that by entering all of this data into the X column of a table in Desmos. So you have to create a table in Desmos. Don't worry about the Y column. Just put all of these into the X column. Then go to a new compartment in your Desmos, like you're going to enter a new equation, and then just literally type in this part right there, stats, and then X sub 1. And if you do that, you will get this readout. So what this readout says is, of that whole list of data that you entered, the smallest number is 4, the largest number is 39, the middlemost number is 16, and 9 represents the first quartile, which means 25% of your data is smaller than 9. 28 represents the third quartile, which means 75% of your data is smaller than 28, or 25% of your data is above 28. This is otherwise known as the 75th percentile, and this is otherwise known as the 25th percentile. But let's take this and turn this into a picture called the box plot. So when I get my 5-number summary, I say the minimum is 4, and I have this scale just like a number line, and I put a dot right where I think 4 would be, right about there. And I put a dot right where I think 9 would be. 16 would be about here. 28 would be about here. And there is my maximum 39. So I have a dot for every one of the values from the 5-number summary. I'm now going to take those dots and connect them to form a box plot. So my 5-number summary turned into those 5 dots, which turn into this figure called the box plot. And you simply take your 5 dots and you draw that little segment, then you draw a box, you draw a line through your median, and you draw this last segment out to here. And now your 5-number summary has turned into this box plot. And the reason we put this box plot on there is this divides your data into percents. So this is the bottom 25%, this is the top 25%, and this is the middle 50%. So if you think about this box plot as just a way to divide your data into 25% chunks or quartiles, you can then have a little bit of a kind of a big picture view of your data. If somebody told you they ate 7 donuts last year, 7 on this number line would be about right here. And so you know that person didn't eat many donuts compared to the rest of the people. In fact, they were in the lowest 25% of all people. If somebody bragged to you that they ate 33 donuts last year, that would be about right here on your plot. And that would tell you right away, just by looking at this picture, that holy cow, they're in the top 25% of donut eaters. That's pretty good. If somebody told you that they ate 17 donuts last year. I can't remember exactly what that is. I think that's around 18, but who knows. 17 might be like right around here. And in that case, that person would be about at the median or the middle 50% of donut eaters. So to recap the whole big picture, when you're given a list of numbers, a big blob of numbers doesn't mean much to somebody because they're overwhelmed by all those numbers. You can find the mean and the median from that list of numbers, and that gives you a little bit of information. But if you do a 5-number summary from that list of numbers, then you can take your 5-number summary and turn it into a pretty picture like that. And now, just by looking at the picture, you have an idea of the 4 quartiles, or the low 25%, high 25%, middle 50%, and this gives you a little better sense of what that list of numbers is really representing.